This is Star Fox, and I've never played a single game in the entire series. So I decided to make my first playthrough of it a little more interesting. Every time my ship is destroyed and I lose a life, that adds 1 mile to my run. But if I complete a mission with no lives lost, then I can subtract a mile from my total. Getting right into the game, it wasted no time in throwing me into the tutorial and learning the basics. Wait, but hold on, there's still one more rule I forgot to mention. If I get a game over screen at any point, the challenge is immediately failed and I will have to do whatever miles I rack up for 2 days straight. That isn't even the worst part. Not only will I fail this video's challenge, but it will also impact the next video's challenge as well. So, let's see how bad I am at Star Fox. When the tutorial was finally over, I felt pretty confident about how I was going to do this challenge. That's when the first mission of the game finally started. Alright, here we are. The mission started off pretty easy with only a few enemies having to be taken down. These blue rings right here, if you go through them, they actually give you some health back. Yellow rings are even better. If I can collect enough of them, they will increase my maximum health for that specific mission. What is going on? As you can tell, I was already getting the hang of the basic controls. Oh! Whoops. The rest of the mission, however, was thankfully pretty laid back, which would eventually lead me to the first real obstacle of the game. The first boss. Whoa. Oh! Whoa! Where are you? It was at this moment I was starting to realize that maybe I wasn't getting used to the controls, and trying to focus on defeating the boss at the same time was going to be a bit of a struggle. Oh, look at that!
My Emperor! I failed you!
What a loser. Mission 1 complete! Easy. As much as I hate to say this happiness wouldn't last too long. I'll let the voiceover do the work. With mission 1 complete, it was time to move on to the next mission, which in my opinion was one of the coolest of the ones that I played. Here we go. The mission itself had some tricky elements, like surprise attacks, unique enemies, even asteroids flying right at me. That's a big asteroid. But most of all, something that surprised me the most, lasers.
Wow! Persistent laser tech!
Lasers! Overall though, I did make it halfway through the mission feeling pretty good. However, the bigger problem was that I did end up taking about half my health off, even though you can't even see it because this idiot forgot to move his webcam out of the way. After some awesome visual moments and some nerding out. Let's go! Meow! Dude, I'm so fast! What is going on? Something started to feel a little off, and I felt like my happiness could run thin. What do you mean you can't go? Oh my heavens. This is actually where my inexperience really shined. This boss was giving me a lot of trouble, which ultimately led to a tragic fate. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Now, I was fully prepared to do the boss over again and prove that I can make it past the second mission. Okay. But something unexpected happened. Wait, what? What is going on? What is... The game knew I was so bad at the game that it was nice enough to lead me down an alternate path because I failed the boss fight the first time, which allowed me to cruise right to the end of the mission without any more lives lost. The third mission had a branching path, meaning I could choose which mission I could go to. When I finally selected where I wanted to go, the third mission was finally in play. Star Fox Squad is here! Thankfully for me, this mission was actually the easiest of the three so far.
I'm sorry.
The hardest part was ironically trying not to shoot down my own teammates.
Fox, that was one of ours.
Oh! That's an enemy.
Fox, that was one of
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
man.
We did.
Mission 3 was a breeze and perfectly executed. Miles to run was now back to 0. At this point in time, I was starting to think that maybe this challenge was going to be a little too easy. Once again, I had a branching path, but this time it was blatantly obvious that one mission path was going to be more difficult than the other. So, with me feeling pretty confident, maybe a little too confident, I decided to take mission 4 to Solar, but I wasn't worried. For about 20 seconds. I don't have a good feeling about this, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my goodness, no. No.
Sure the Arwings can take this heat?
They cannot take this heat. Do you see my health gauge? We can't, Jake. So even though it was going to be a little bit more difficult than I first imagined, I was actually making some pretty good progress. So in my head, I thought I was going to be just fine. But in reality, things were about to get way worse. What is that? What is this thing? Where's health? Where's health? No! Just okay, just a little bit helps. Is it his arms? Sadly, the heat was too much for me, and my ship got taken down. Miles to do, 1. After making, well, whatever that noise was, attempt number 2 was more or less the same. That didn't do anything!
Fox, no!
Miles to do, 2. Oh no. I had to act fast. I already lost 2 lives during this one level alone. But the good thing was I finally realized where the enemy weak spots were. So attempt number 3 was underway.
Where he going?
Oh! That burned me. Come on.
You did it, Fox.
Let's
That
go.
thing is finished.
After not showing any excitement, mission 4 was a success. But it left me having to do 2 miles now.
crap.
Not bad at all, so my confidence was still pretty high. Little did I actually know, but I was only 3 levels away from completing the entire game. So I told myself that I was going to do my best to try and beat this game while having to do minimal amount of running. Mission 5 was a little bit different, as instead of being in my R-wing, I was actually down on the ground in tank playing support. This mission had some struggles because I had to learn a little bit of new mechanics with the tank, so early mistakes put me down to half health.
Oh my god. You're kidding me. You're joking, right?
Not only that, my goal was to redirect the train by shooting the numbered rail locks while also trying to dodge all the enemies.
Hover.
Which, in the end, I ended up missing one, which put
need
more
that, I
stress
need
on my shoulders
Whoa.
because I had this giant mech in front of me for which I could not dodge for
Wait
the
for
life.
it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Supposed to do a barrel roll.
This would lead to another life lost. Miles to do, 3. Thankfully, I was able to grab the checkpoint right before this, so it brought me right back to where I was able to retry to redirect the train.
Great shooting, Fox.
Yes, I got it. Luckily, mission
think that's what
5
we're
was
supposed to do
completed
before.
with only 1 loss. Another crossroad. Now, here's the thing. Both of these choices will once again divide the difficulty. When given the rundown for the missions, Area 6 was going to be the harder of the two. So in my mind, I was thinking I could either choose the easier path and get to the final mission of the game with less than 5 miles, or take a little risk and test what I have done up until now. Of course though, I knew that I had to choose the harder one. After all, this is a challenge within a challenge itself. I don't know why I do this to myself. Mission 6 started out hectic. It was throwing everything it could at me, and I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I was taking damage from what felt like everywhere, and I really thought I was in over my head for this mission. Even though Peppy was asking for protection, I ultimately couldn't even protect myself.
Oh no, Fox.
Miles to run, 4. With the first death out of the way, I decided to take a new approach, something that I thought I was being clever with.
I'm just gonna start barrel rolling the entire time. Yeah, okay, Falco. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Things do a lot of damage.
I wish I could say that this was the least of my worries, but phase 2 of the mission started.
The Gorgon. Oh my god.
What is that? This was by far the toughest challenge for me that I have faced so far in this game. Every move I made felt like the wrong one. My brain started to feel like a jumbled mess, and it showed in my gameplay. I couldn't dodge his basic attacks, which ultimately led me to another tragic fate.
I don't believe it.
Miles to run was now at 5. This was it. I was down to my last life. One mistake would put the dagger into this challenge, and that was something that I was not ready to let happen, especially since I was this close to beating the game. So, I locked in and gave this boss one last rush.
I missed the missiles. Yes.
In the end, I was able to barely squeak by and claim victory on the 6th mission. Everything had led to this, the final mission of the game. I knew that this was not going to be a walk in the park, but I was super focused and felt ready for whatever the game threw at me.
Don't get too cocky, Starfox.
Wolf?
We'll rip you to pieces in our new ships.
This fight felt like it dragged on for an hour. Constantly trying to chase
Oh my
everyone
God, are you
around
serious?
and get a
Are you
lock on them
serious, dude?
was really starting to get into my head. Thankfully though, everything went smooth and I took down the last pilot and was able to move on to the final encounter, the final boss. During this section, there were different paths that you could take, and depending on which one you chose, you get a special item. Luckily for me, I was able to get an additional life. That means I had 3 chances to beat the game. Even though I felt really unprepared, I took a deep breath and took on the final boss.
Excuse me? What the heck?
The game knew how unprepared I was, so it showed who was in charge pretty much right away.
Was I supposed to dodge that? What?
Miles to do, 6. Even though I was completely overwhelmed by what just happened, I knew I had to figure out his attacks fast.
He gonna do his thing?
I did get lucky with not being sucked in this time, and after a long time of processing what to do, I remembered that I had bombs that I could throw into his mouth.
There we go.
I was able to successfully make it past the first phase of the fight.
What the heck did I... Left? Oh no.
But I should have known better than to get my hopes up. Miles to do,
No
7.
way, I have to start all the way back here.
Once again, I was staring straight down the barrel
I
at
just don't know
0
what I'm
lives
supposed to
left.
do here.
This was my last shot. What I needed was a miracle.
Like, all right. Okay, I got something. Is it phase 3? Please don't tell me there's phase 3. Please don't tell me there's phase 3.
Don't ever give up, son.
Dad?
The miracle fully came. I was able to clutch up and actually beat the final boss. All I had to do now was follow Fox's dad, and this challenge would be complete.
Okay, let's try not to lose this challenge.
Never give up.
Did you go this way?
Trust your instincts.
Yep, that really just happened. I wish I could say I did that for a bit, or I just did that just to be funny, but I genuinely lost where he went, and it costed me the entire run. I was literally at the end of the game, and I still managed to snag defeat from the jaws of victory. I sat there for what felt like 10 or even 20 minutes, just completely baffled at what I just did. But in the end, Miles to do, 8. But not just for tomorrow, it'll be for 2 days straight. All right, well, I'm here at the gym. Yesterday was July 21st when I recorded the starfox video, and today is July 22nd, so you guys know that I'm actually doing it the very next day. And I don't know how it's gonna go, so bring you guys in there with me, and hopefully things go well. Mile 1 was complete, and at this pace, I was feeling pretty good. Miles 2, 3, and 4 all flew by, and at this point, my legs were actually feeling pretty good. It helped that I was listening to some banging music though to get me through it. The same honestly could be said about Mile 5. I basically entered a flow state where everything was just clicking and I was feeling great. Now, because the treadmill I was on stops after an hour, I had to restart the machine to be able to get the last 2 miles down. So I stretched and made sure I was ready for the final 20-minute push. The 7th mile was where my body started to feel a little weird. I always felt weird after taking small breaks from continuous running and then immediately starting up again, but thankfully I had some Yusei Run playing to fully motivate me to get done with mile 7. Thankfully, that was it. Final mile of the day completed. Total miles, 8. Time elapsed, 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Overall status? Tired. Well, still day one. I'll let the voiceover do the work.
All that was left was 8 more miles. And there was something important that I remembered after, too. My girlfriend and I had plans after she got off of work the next day. So I knew I would not be able to run 8 miles straight like that again. So I did what was the most optimal strategy.
I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. So just in case you guys didn't see it, it is July 23rd.
It was 5 in the morning of the 23rd, and my idea was to split the last 8 miles into 2 runs. One 4-mile run in the morning, and the final 4-mile run after work before we had our plans. I won't lie, waking up earlier than I'm used to, while also had running 8 miles in a close span the previous day, really made my legs feel like jelly at one point. But I stuck it through and was able to complete all 4 miles in 40 minutes. Same day, right after work. I was not looking forward to this, as my legs felt like they were getting ready to detach themselves and go to a different owner.
I don't even know what to say.
And just like that, 16 miles in 2 days was completed. In the end though, I still failed the challenge, but at least I could feel good about doing 16 miles in 2 days.
All right. What's next?
This is going to be interesting.